Hey y'all, this is Kazi Blue. Welcome back to another video. As long as I get the gist of things, I'll get me a mirror today, but as long as I get the gist of things, I got my green juice, I got my water, stay hydrated. I've been dehydrated and my body has been fucking up because of that. So you guys already know, I don't really prime my face. What I really do is put a lot of moisturizer, and then I use my sponge and the powder to really, and you guys know I cannot stand how messy this powder thing gets. But this is like, I'm not gonna lie, the most lightweight powder that I have had in my life. So I'm not even mad at it. I think we should make this a story time / doing my makeup without being able to see myself. Oh, you guys, I forgot. I know what I did. I was looking through my FaceTime thing on here. I was like, I can't see myself, but I forgot that I was looking on my FaceTime thing. That's so smart. Sometimes I have smart ideas and I forget them. Shit. Now I can see it. I forgot I was on the FaceTime. I tell y'all, I have smart ideas sometimes. So anyway, I had a psychologist in my life for a few years when I was in college. And all the stuff I was talking to her about, all the trauma, all the childhood trauma, she recommended me to go to a psychiatrist, which they diagnose you with diseases and they give you medicine. I didn't take that fucking medicine, but at the end of the day, you know, I was happy to get kind of a gist of what I was going through, or what I went through as a child, and how I'm dealing with it as an adult. You know, like, it's really interesting to see. It's really interesting to see and understand what all your decisions come from, like why you act a certain way, why you ghost people, why you have high expectations, like your intentions with people intentions with you. All that's really interesting to find out, and therapy really helped me find that out about my life. It's like all that stuff that was going on in my life, you know? They really help. You guys know the drill. I want to get like some tissue and put it up my nose, because my nose be running. So that's not too small. That's okay. That'll work for today. I always have to put tissue in my nose because I don't know why my nose runs. I think because it just doesn't like the chemicals or whatever that's in my makeup. But you know, unfortunately, that's what I have to do every time I put my makeup on. And I thought I was the only one, but one of my female friends said she has the same issue. And I was like, okay, I am not alone. You, baby, you. So it was hella interesting to find out this stuff about you know, my mental illness. And so I met with him, and he kind of wanted to like, he said, yeah, you have PTSD, you have AD, you have anxiety, you have clinical depression, and it's all because of my childhood trauma. I still have times where I get super like down and depressed, and also this having PTSD, having trauma, having abandonment issues, having neglectful childhood will get you things called codependency. It's kind of where you need people around you or to fill the void of what you lacked when you were growing up. And that was me. I always looked for the people, like the wrong people, to kind of help me with my problems instead of dealing with them on my own. So that kind of really messed me up in life. It kind of influenced my bad decisions as an adult, and as an adult, it influenced my bad decisions and my bad judgment of people, men, females, right? So, you know, I learned all that about myself, and then I realized that, you know, I wanted to heal. I wanted to help. I really wanted to heal. I wanted to heal really bad. But the problem was that I was looking for the people who allowed me, like my one of my parents allowed me to get abused and neglected, and you know, I wanted them to save me and heal me from that, but they did not understand the concept of that. So of years of making myself sick, trying to get these people to understand what I've been through, literally made me sick. I gained so much medical issues. And what's crazy, this is all related to codependence. You know, you start stressing out, being dependent, getting depressed if people are not around you. Life just seems harder than what it is. It really did. And I'm learning about that. You know, I don't like being alone that much because I've been isolated. But to be honest, is when you become isolated, when you become like super codependent and everyone ghosts you, you start feeling like no one cares about you, no one ever will kill. So that's why I didn't make friends. That's why I didn't make a lot of friends after college or in college. Like, I realized a lot of people didn't care about my problems as a Black person. And also I was going through a lot of discrimination in college. A lot of discrimination. Severe discrimination. And it was like the worst time of my life, you know? You know, high school was actually not bad for me, but the discrimination I suffered in college and people, the lack of empathy for me was really fucking with me in my head. And it's still to this day, I still have issues with that. You know? And I find people to be super apathetic if things don't involve them. And that made me really not like human beings, to be honest. And I like animals, but I'm really scared of animals because trauma. So just like, you know, it's like I kind of just got okay with being alone and isolated and not having to deal with anyone. Like, really, I didn't have to deal with people. I was very independent. I was very self-sufficient. So that was very easy for me. It's just to just not deal with people. It's just to do my own thing. And before me and my boyfriend got together, I was really going through a lot of pain, a lot of trauma. You know, I was still going through the fact that my parent allowed my siblings to abuse me. Like, my brother would abuse me, like beating my ass for no reason. My sister too. Like, they'll be having a bad day and then they'll come beat and I'm not talking about like whoop me. I'm talking about punch me like if I was a guy. Like, I remember my brother just like a few times coming in the house with an attitude for no reason and just beating me up, you know? Like, I never forget, like, one time I was doing my chore. Me and my mom had a contract and I was doing my chore and he was like, you need to do this. And I was like, no, I don't need to do that because that's not my chore. And remind you, this is my brother, it's not my dad. And I was like, I don't need to do that. That's not my chore. And he punched me in my stomach, in my face. I'll never forget that. I never forget the fact that he punched me in my chest while my niece was there because I was wearing a sports bra right after volleyball practice. You know, I was really getting abused. And my sister would beat me up. Until I was 17, my sister would abuse me. I mean, she made my nose bleed. She broke my nose. She was very abusive. A lot of people took their pain out on me because they knew that my parent did not care. She was neglectful, you know? Till this day, she doesn't understand how much that hurt me and how much I need clarity from that and how much she doesn't understand. Like, some people are like, oh, that's the past, get over it. I'm not getting over that. It's not like I'm dwelling, but I'm not going to forget. Especially, I forgave them and they violated me after I forgave them. Like, I forgave my sister and my brother numerous times and they violated me. So I promised to myself I would never forgive them again and give them a pass again. Because I did my part. I did my part being a bigger person and they took advantage of that. And to be honest, like, I'm not going to allow you to do that to me again. So I just went on with my life and, you know, like, I went on with my life. I didn't make it a big deal. I just knew that I did not want these people in my life anymore. Me and my sister talk now because she has karma like a motherfucker. She has gotten a lot of karma from what she's done to me in the past. My brother too, but I would absolutely never forgive that man, that person. He's the most evil person in my life. I would never, ever, ever, ever forgive him. Ever, 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 ever forgive him. Because when I try to forgive him, he used that as weakness, and he kept trying to abuse me. And you know, I got over that. I got over trying to forgive someone who doesn't want to be a better person. So if he doesn't want to be a better person, then he's out of my life forever. I mean, I've thought about like not inviting him to my wedding when I get married, because I'm like, it doesn't matter. But then again, I do want to invite him to let him know that I have been doing great in life, you know? But so I realized I had a lot of issues early on as a person, and what I used to do is to get over my issues is I was trying to find people to like want to be around me as much as possible. But then I started smothering people and them not, like, you know, I kind of was blaming them for my problems, making them feel bad about themselves because they wasn't helping me. They knew that I was going through a lot, and they wasn't trying to help me heal. And that's how I really friends lost me, because I'm actually, to be honest, I have a lot of those friends that apologize. A lot of those friends come back in my life, apologize for what they've done in the past, because I was a really good friend. People will tell you I'm a good friend. So they will really apologize for treating me like that. And I realized that I always have good intentions. I just wanted people to care about me, because growing up, I still feel like nobody really cares about me besides my boyfriend. And even then, like, I still have issues. Like, you know, I get to my moments where I'm isolated. I don't want to talk to nobody, even him. I don't want to talk to nobody, because I've been through so much. Is that, like, I get to a place as if you're not doing what I need you to do when I need you to do it, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't know how to say it. I just don't want to be in that position where I feel like they're not giving their all, you know? And I feel like a lot of people in my life was not giving their all. That kind of made me like take a lot of steps back from people in my life and isolate myself, because I feel like they didn't care anyway. So why deal with that? So after all the abuse and neglect and like just my family ignoring what I've been through, I just put a lot of my energy accomplishing my goals. Like I graduated college. I got my bachelor's in international business from a accredited university, a California State University, which was super racist. I had the worst experience of my life. I'm still going through racism trauma because of that. And it's not just white people, it's Hispanics, it was Asians, it was Black men, it was like racism across all boards. So when people say, do you hate white people? I was like, nah, it's not. It wasn't the white people that were really racist to me. It was all people. It was white. It was the only, to be honest, it was a lot of white people, my teachers, the white teachers, but it was a lot of Hispanic people that were racist to me that wasn't teachers, like students. I had really bad experiences with people like that. And colorism, like people saying, oh, we don't date dark-skinned women or Black women, their body, they're fat and all this. And I'm like, really? And then this one Black guy who said, oh, the reason why they don't want to date Black women because they're obese. I'm like, have you seen this campus? Most of the Black women on this campus are athletic and fit, and they have scholarships for being track stars and shit. So you can tell, like, the self-hatred of Black men is so strong. It's crazy. It's so crazy, because I did statistically, Black men are twice as more likely to date outside their race. Only 20% of Black women will date outside their race. I'm part of the coalition, because I have so much trauma with Black men in my life, and them like just abandoning me or disrespecting me, like my relationships in the past. Like I've had really bad situations with them. So like those statistics, like they were not lying. Cause even in school, I had a friend. She wasn't even dark skinned, but she didn't feel pretty because she was like a little bit lighter than me. But she didn't feel pretty because she felt like she had to be light skinned, and I was like, I felt like I always felt pretty because I had a lot of fashion sense. So like after God like teased you and stuff, it didn't matter to me because I have fashion sense. Like you can talk about me being dark skinned or whatever, but you can't say I can't dress and I can't get cute. You can't say that. So I kind of like didn't care about black guys after that point. And then after like dating them in high school, I was just like, they're self-hating. They're very self-hating. And I just don't deal with that. So that is the tea with that. But yeah, I was going through a lot of discrimination growing up with my own people. And I had my first bad discrimination was at a middle school in Fresno. And they really, like, the lady was so racist. The faculty was racist. I remember her calling me an abomination to her school. It was the worst experience ever. That was the start of having racism prevalent in my life. It's sad because when you think about it, it's like these people have kids that are black or half black or, like these are the same people who have sex with black men. It be the women that have sex with like Mexican and black men that be the main ones perpetrating against black women. It's so fucking sick. And I dealt with that a lot in my life. My step auntie, she was hella racist to me, and she would like research my messages and send them to my mom to just make my mom mad because deep down, like she wished she could be my mom. Like she wished she had my mom. And she always wanted to dim my light. Her daughter's grandma was feeling sorry, but even her daughter's grandma was embarrassed of me because I was dark skinned with kinky hair, while my step family was mixed with curly hair. So you could totally tell that I was getting mistreated by being a dark skinned girl when I was younger. I didn't blossom and then also a lot of abuse. Like my mom would call me fat, and I was being called fat because her mom called her fat. My mom projected a lot of her past issues on me. So she would call me fat and all this stuff that she doesn't remember because she was under the influence, so she don't remember because she was drinking a lot of wine at that time. And I don't want to offend nobody in my family. If y'all see it, I'm sorry, but y'all don't want to hear me talk about it, so I'm gonna talk about it here. I'm gonna vent about it here. And I did get therapy for 10 years. People are like, well, you need to get a therapist. I got therapy for 10 years. And after I graduated, they don't give it to you no more because, it's not in their budget. So I went through a lot, and, it was very evident that my feelings in my family life, like how I felt, did not matter to them. So I was going through all that. I was going through all this trauma, and it was sad because I didn't feel loved. I felt abandoned, neglected, and my feelings never mattered. And they want me to forget about it and move on. I'm not that type of person. I'm just not going to move on because you want me to. You have to show me change if you want me to move on. That's the only way I can move on. Is if I feel like you are changing for the better. Like my sister, I'm moving on because I can tell that, like I said, karma, I don't have to feel bad about it no more. God got her. And my mom, she tries her best now to be a better parent, but that still doesn't solve the fact that I went through a lot of that as a teenager and also as an adult a little bit. Like even as an adult, I was going through that. Like my brother was bullying me last Christmas. And my brother, for the first time, my brother that lives in Houston, he stuck up for me because he was like, that's wrong. That was fucked up. And I was like, yeah. And you guys act like I was just making shit up. And then they thought I was lying. about it. And then they asked my niece, because my niece was there in the incident, and it was like, and she was like, yeah, she said that's happened. That what happened. I'm like, I told you. Like, I don't have no reason to lie. What is it? You know, and I guess because a lot of women in our family do that. They do lie about instance, and you know, a lot of, like, my sister done that. That's why my dad's not in my life, because my sister lied about some shit. My other sister. So this family has a reputation. Women in my family have a reputation of misconstruing stories and doing stuff like that. So I kind of like get why they wouldn't, because you know, now I do, but then I'm like, why? I never have made up stories in my life, ever. Like, all the stuff that I've been through, I never made that up. I didn't have to make that up because it happened to me. And there was like no consequences on how it happened to me. So it was very hard for me to just move on because I know the truth. Like, I don't know. I don't make up stuff like that about people. That's just me. I don't get the satisfaction of like making like really that's something very serious to put on people, you know. I'm not that type of person. So if I said they did it like that. That's what it is. Like, I had no satisfaction of making shit up. So they did all that, and it took them 13 years to believe me after all the shit I was going through. And now we barely have a relationship, and a lot of my family members are miserable, besides my oldest brother, who's my favorite. He's the only one that I really love. Everybody else, I mean, besides the Dark Vader, the one that I'm never gonna fuck with, everybody else I have love for, but I don't know if I love them like I love my brother, because he's always been there for me through it all, and he didn't mind apologizing for not having my back, and that's all I wanted. Like, I don't really need people to, like, I just want people to apologize, and that's how we can move on, and hopefully they don't make the same mistakes over and over again. Do my eyeliner off camera, because yeah, I was looking raggedy. So yeah, so after all of that, just a lot of growth I had to do. I had to do a lot of therapy and a lot of work, and also keeping yourself busy. So after I realized I was super codependent, I basically did my best to not. That's why I isolated myself, because I got tired of being codependent on other people. So I kind of like ghosted myself from people, and I still do that. I'm still guilty of that. Like, if I don't like how you're not communicating with me or whatever, I'll ghost you. It's not healthy, but it's better than feeling like I need you. That's why I do it, because it's like another defense mechanism. Like, I don't need you. So if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. That's kind of where it is with me. It's like, you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. And that's how I kind of healed from that, is to really know my boundaries, know my worth, respect myself, put myself first, put my feelings first, having respectful boundaries and saying like, okay, I need this to you in a relationship, and if you can't do this, then I'm sorry, we can't be in a relationship, but I would love to be friends. Or as a friend, it's like, I take my friendship very seriously. And if we're going to be friends, communication is very important to me. But if that's not important to me, I understand. And I hope that you can have a good life or some shit like that. But I try not to be like, fuck you, or just block them. I try to really communicate instead of ghosting people or why I don't want them in my life. And that has really kind of helped me, gain more respect for my friends, and my friends actually learn about things, and I'm educating my friends when I'm telling them these things, instead of just ghosting them and trying to make them feel like a bad person. And it's not intention, it's literally me protecting myself. It's like, my intention not to make others feel bad about themselves, it's protecting me. So if I have to push you off and isolate you, block you, and cut you off, that's what I'm gonna do. And it's better than me feeling like I need you. And that's the complete opposite of codependency. It's like you become super independent so independent that where you push others away. And one of my best friends, she's like that too. But because she knows I'm a valuable friend, she doesn't want to do that to me. So now she's like, I'm sorry. She communicates better, you know? That's all it takes. It's better communication. That's all it took. Is her to communicate with me better. Like, that's all I wanted. So, that's all you guys have to do. Like, if you guys are going through that codependency issues where you feel like you need people and you accept intolerable behaviors and you accept people putting you down, you just accept things that are not healthy for you, you should go get therapy and get help, or really just take a step back and find yourself. And if that means cutting everybody off, that's so be it. But don't just cut everybody off and not have a plan. Have a plan. Like, are you going to go figure out what you want to do with your life? Are you going to do music? Are you going to do content? Are you going to get a new job? Are you going to get your degree? Like, you have to have a plan. If you're going to cut all these people off, you got to keep yourself busy so you don't feel like you're empty. That's how you fulfill yourself, is finding things that make you feel happy that are not toxic. Not in drugs, not in alcohol, not in anything like binge caffeine. Like, I do binge caffeine sometimes. That's not healthy. And I'm learning that's not healthy. So you got to find things that are healthy. Like me, I like to go to the gym. I like to work out. I like to try to eat at least 2 to 3 servings of greens a day. I like to drink water. I like to drink greens. I like to read. I like to do all types of stuff. I try to stimulate my mind. I like to pray to my spiritual ancestors. Like, I do a lot of stuff to heal myself. And I'm still in the process of therapy and going through things so I can continue my path of healing. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope all these tips help you guys. And if you guys have any input or any stories, don't be afraid to comment below and tell me about it. I would love to hear your stories and what you're going through. I would love to hear about your healing process. Thank you.
Pop out. I wanna rock out, call when I'm in town. Fuck do you mean? I don't want that nigga, my IG just down his screen. Pretty bitch, yeah, he know that I'm with the shit. My friend got a nigga.